All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and add a spigot to this water supply line here. Now that's the main line going into the house, and it branches off right here and terminates right here. And it has a cap on it that we're gonna remove, and we're gonna put a spigot there. Now we gotta get the right size spigot, okay? It's not a 3/4, we're gonna have to put a 1/2 inch. All right, so this is a 3 1/4 inch right here. We don't want this. We're looking for the 1/2 inch. This is what you want right here, a 1/2 inch. You want this right here, a 1/2 inch male and a 3/4 inch for the hose. Now this supply line right here has a gate valve on it, you know, the wheel valve, and didn't seem to be doing much when I tested it out. So I don't know what's going on with it because it didn't affect the water flow. So that's the main shutoff valve right there. And that shuts off water to the house and to the hose bib right here. So I'm not quite sure what's the function of this right here, but it didn't affect the water flow at all. Okay, I think I found out what's going on here. Over here, if I remove this, we're gonna see a manifold in here. With all these wires and stuff. That tells me that this is a sprinkler system. And that pipe with the gate valve is connected to it. So that gate valve has something to do with the sprinkler system. But if you look around the property, you don't see any sprinkler heads, which is understandable because a lot of times they're buried in the ground, right? But I did find one over here. We're not doing a sprinkler job today. All right, guys, so before we replace this spigot, we have to shut off the main shutoff. And that's this right here. But look at that handle. Look how rusted and corroded it is. It's gonna have to be replaced or something done about that. Also, this is a multi-unit property, okay? So this main distributes water from the street to multiple units. So when I shut this off, it's gonna be shutting off water to all those units. So if you're doing something like this and it's a multi-unit property, you wanna inform the tenants or whoever lives in there that the water's gonna be off for however long. Now, if I don't shut this off first and I take this cap off, it's gonna look like a fire hydrant just opened up and water's gonna be just gushing out. So you gotta make sure that your water's shut off, basic stuff. So now we're gonna take some pipe tape and put it around the threads of our spigot. That was cool there. All right, so now that we installed our spigot, let's turn the water back on. You know, it took a lot of years and sleepless nights to get Exactac on the market, going from prototype to prototype, perfecting the design. Not to mention thousands of dollars in intellectual property put into this one tool right here that I'm putting out for you. When I finally got all that done and put it on the market, guess what? Fortunately, it was flying out of inventory. People love the tool. They still do, but that didn't stop the counterfeiters from coming after it and copying it and selling it for much lower than my retail price. So I had a bunch of cheap knockoffs and counterfeits flying around the internet. So rule number one, have your intellectual property in place, even though these counterfeiters really don't care about that. But at least if you litigate, you'll have something to stand on versus nothing at all. If you're in business, you know what I'm talking about. And that's what happened. But that didn't stop me. As a matter of fact, Exactac inspired me to start Calibrate Tools and DIY because I was a tool lover at heart, and any DIYer or homeowner that watches the channel understands that passion. So instead of focusing just on a picture hanging tool, I decided to talk about all kinds of tools and keep my mind off what was going on with this. I guess I made lemonade out of lemons. So that's basically the short story on Exactac, hanging those precious memories in special times exactly where you want it. You can grab one down below in the links in the description, also under the videos. Oh yeah, one more thing, check this out. If you want to make sure that your picture is level, Exactac has two levels. One right here, horizontally, and then you have a vertical level right here. So all you have to do is take Exactac, put it up against your frame, and look at the level right there and make sure that's level. Or you can use this one. And if you're not sure how to use the tool, well, the instructions are right on it. Now, what other tool has that?